Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. As you have noticed, 2015 is wrapping up, and I thought it's a great way to look back this year would be to just have a throwback of all the scientific discoveries that have occurred this year. And so I thought I'd do a top 10 big discoveries that occurred this year that have been in the news, have been on social media, and personally, in my opinion, I thought were pretty important. Now, mind you, obviously, there are tens of thousands of discoveries that happened in the year 2015. Obviously, I cannot have time to go through them all, but there has been lots out there. So if I miss some, you can always put them in the comments and let other people know as well as myself, because I could have missed them as well. But here are some of the top 10 big science noteworthy stories that occurred in the year 2015. Number one, researchers discovered a new phase of carbon. So, as you may remember, carbon can form different kinds of bonds. And the way that carbon forms these bonds can give rise to different properties in different materials. So, for example, you can have diamond and graphite, both of which are pure carbon, but they have very different physical characteristics. Well, a new phase, or a new way that the atoms have rearranged themselves in three-dimensional space, and these are carbon atoms in particular, have made a new arrangement, and they're calling it Q-carbon. Number two, doctors have been able to grow human vocal cords from scratch. So for the very first time, we've actually been able to take human tissue, or human cells, and actually form them on a mold that mimics that of the vocal mucosa, which are the flaps in our larynx, that when air passes through makes our voices or sounds, and they have actually done this. So those who have damaged vocal cords from surgery or accidents now may have a new treatment or option to get the voice back. Number three, over 200 new species have been identified in the Eastern Himalayas. Scientists from around the world from 2009 all the way to 2014 have discovered 211 new species, of which we found 133 different plant species, 39 invertebrates, 26 fish, 10 amphibians, 1 reptile, 1 bird, and 1 mammal. What shocked scientists around the world is that this area is a biodiversity hotspot, something only thought to be only around the equator or islands. Number 4, scientists may have identified a drug that could act as a potent male birth control pill. So scientists have found 2 drugs called cyclosporin A and FK506, which have the ability to make the motor proteins that attach the head of the sperm to the tail very rigid, thus preventing them from moving very far. This has been shown in the lab to be so potent that it actually, the sperm, even if you put the egg beside the sperm, it was not able to penetrate the egg. So this could be a revolution in terms of the birth control. Number 5, NASA finds evidence of water on Mars. This is huge. Most people probably have heard this. This was fascinating. I thought it was cool when I first seen it. Satellites that are around Mars have identified around the polar regions during the summertime actual liquid water being formed. Although the water is salt water, this gives new hope to those who wish to travel to Mars to start a new colony, as now there may be a chance for them to get fresh water by taking out the salt and using that for themselves as well as crops and other animals. Number 6, scientists have discovered a new species of hominid ancestor. So a group of scientists found a fossil in the South African cave of a new human ancestor of the Homo genus. The species, they say, is rather primitive based on the bones that they found as well as three-dimensional models that have been produced based on those bones, but it does have some human characteristics, which is why it's in the genus Homo. A great new ancestor that's added to our wonderful growing evolutionary tree to explain how we got here. Number 7, another huge story from NASA. The New Horizons space probe finally reached Pluto back in July. I remember watching it on CNN and with Bill Nye there, and it was great a great thing to witness as data was coming right back live, where we seen the very first images close up of Pluto. Not only did we see these images, but we also got lots of data from Pluto. Some of the data that we got was, number one, that there were mountains on Pluto and actual geological features which scientists up until that point didn't think existed. Number 8, the first new antibiotic in 30 years has been discovered. So as I'm sure many of you know, we're running out of antibiotics. More and more bacteria are becoming resistant to the antibiotics we currently have. So we were going to be in this great epidemic of widespread bacterial resistance to antibiotics, and we'll be back to the pre-antibiotic times. Well, a new antibiotic was discovered that has been shown to prevent bacterial infections of things like C. difficile and tuberculosis. Number 9, there has been a twin planets discovered, Earth-like planets that were discovered by NASA again, that not in our galaxy, but in another galaxy that they're in the habitable zone, that actually may have the ability to have life. Based on observations, it appears that both these planets could have liquid water on them, based on their size and relevant distance to the sun, or to their star, nearest star. They are good candidates for Earth-like planets that could sustain life and maybe even have life. And number 10 was the climate conference in Paris. Yes, over 150 nations from around the world went to Paris to sign a global agreement to keep the Earth temperature, global temperatures, from increasing any more than 2 degrees Celsius based on pre-industrial times. This is revolutionary, as this is the first time the world and its society has come together to fight global warming and climate change, as well as setting emission targets for our globe and for each country. So thank you for watching. These again were my opinion on the top 10 stories of science this year in the year of 2015. Please subscribe, take a like, and if I missed anything you think I should have mentioned, please write them in the comments below. I hope you have a fantastic New Year's Eve, and I hope you have a wonderful and bountiful 2016.